Hi, everybody. Tim Johnson with In the Neighborhood. Boy, it's been an imperfect day this morning. Take 3. Here we go. How you doing, Stacy?
Good morning. We all have those days, and it just makes life that much more entertaining, right?
Right.
We have today with us Patti Smith. You're with American Gold Standard Families? Or Star
America's
Families?
Gold Star Families.
See, it's going to be one of those days today.
Yes, I'm with.
Okay. Well, tell us about American Gold Star Families.
We are a 501c3 organization, not for profit, and we provide honor, hope, and healing for those grieving any military loss.
Wow. So Gold Star, I think of military and I think of the stars. I think of the banners that people put on their doors, their front doors.
Right,
with the star
that's where
on
it comes from, the Gold Star banner. And as I mentioned, that represents a loss of life in service to our country. There's also the term families of the fallen and survivors. And survivors are who have lost someone while serving active duty, but not necessarily in the line of battle.
Wow. So what is it that your organization does?
We have we will soon be starting our 4th year, and we have programs and services that support in a variety of ways. But then we also come alongside and we take care of the practical needs as they arise. So our formal programs are we have a national one that is the Children's Greeting Card Program, and we send children of the fallen birthday and Christmas cards, and in each of them they have a $20 gift certificate. You've got pictures of some of them right in front of you. We currently have 25 states representing on our database across the USA. We just started the program in January, so we're very excited about that. And then this will be our first Christmas. So we send them a card, and they're handwritten and it's got the Walmart gift card in it. But we ask them to send in a picture of them holding the card, so we can use their first name and their state. Mm-hmm. And that's what you've got in front of you. And I tell you, one is cuter than the next. They're just adorable, and they're always so grateful. And we want to do that to encourage the children in their patriotism, and to let them know that we've not only not forgotten about usually their dad, but we've not forgotten about them either. Other programs that we have scholarships to families of the fallen. And this past year, we awarded another nonprofit that members within our organization run. They're going to be training up a dog that will come alongside and assist a PTSD soldier that has PTSD. So to date, we have, in just our short time that we've been around, we've awarded $10,000 in funds, scholarship, or grant awards. One project coming up that I'm very excited about, you've got that in front of you, is a Fallen Heroes Tree of Honor. Cool. Families or friends of the fallen are encouraged to submit a non-breakable ornament that will be hung on a 14-foot artificial tree that'll be erected right before Thanksgiving in the state capitol in Springfield Rotunda, right next to the statue of the lady, if you're familiar with that. So, like I said, I brought some samples because some people are really crafty. They're like, oh, wow, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And others are pretty intimidated by it. We don't know what to do. So we also make the offer that we'll make the ornament for you if we have your permission. And so as you can see, you can handle some of these if you like. This is a good one. This is, and it says it on the back side. This is what I'm going to be reading. Sergeant Anthony Mad Dog Maddox, 11/15/1990 to 7/22/2013. Army OEF. And they'll just be a combination of, hung across the tree on the back side of this one. It reads Sergeant David Caruso, USMC, 10/25/79 to 11/9/2004, KIA, Fallujah, Iraq. This is our first one from Texas, so we're very excited about getting some from out of the state. So all the information and the criteria and some of these pictures can be found on our website, americasgoldstarfamilies.org. We're promoting this project right now, so it's on our homepage, the criteria, pictures of the ornaments, and where to mail them, and information like that.
That's really awesome. These are beautiful, and I'm sure that tree is just going to be filled from top to bottom.
Yes.
With some amazing stories.
Yeah. It really will be. And, the importance of it is holidays are so hard for our families of the fallen, that this is a way we can honor them by honoring their fallen hero. And I think it means a lot to them.
That's awesome.
We know you from real estate, me being a realtor, you being a realtor. You're no longer doing that?
That's correct. I left real estate a year ago to provide full-time leadership pro bono to the organization. I'm often asked if I'm a Gold Star mom, and is that why I started this? The answer is no. I'm technically a double Blue Star mom. I had 2 Marines that enlisted in the Marine Corps within 6 months of each other. I had no prior connection to the military community, so I got a crash course when that happened. It was not long after that. They served together in Iraq, and then one went back for a second tour. It was in the heat of the battle about 10 years ago, and it was the worst chapter of my life. I didn't sleep. I napped. I developed physical illnesses as a result of the internalized stress, but kept going. And you may remember back then the project Operation Santa. They sent stockings to the troops. I and a group of others started that. That's how I did it to keep my sanity. So it started out to be a one-time only project for 40 Marines, my one son and his platoon. And to date, the project is still going on. They have shipped over 200,000 stockings, and they've gone far beyond Iraq and Afghanistan. They've gone to Djibouti, Japan, Kosovo, Bosnia, Algeria. They've just gone all around the world. So I left that in 2010, and I spent a summer in Washington, D.C., and I worked at the White House Commission on Remembrance. And my boys were getting out by then, and my heart started turning to, families of the fallen. There was no such organization in Central Illinois to meet their needs, to be a physical presence for them. And so that's why I started it.
Wow. You've always been, you sing, you've done some pretty amazing, you sing the national anthem at baseball fields, and you've done quite a bit with your patriotism. So it's...
Well, thank you. I just feel like to whom much is given, much is required. And I've been very blessed. And I believe that God gives each of us gifts, and that's what we're supposed to do with them. So I appreciate the compliment. I get a little squirmy when people say that, because I just think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's very rewarding. That's why I left, a well-paying job to do pro bono. This was my heart, my passion, and I work full-time. I think it's important that your viewers know we have no paid staff, no overhead. I work from my home office, and so we are 100% volunteer supported. So the funding, and that's important to know in this day and age, that your dollars are going to go where we say they're going to go. We provide relocation assistance. We had a Gold Star wife and her young son. She was in the Chicago area. She was moving to Bloomington Normal area. We arranged for moving assistance on both ends to get her taken care of. She's going to school. A woman can't lift her couch and all that. So we found some very willing volunteers to take care of that. We've had a Gold Star mom and a Gold Star wife separately experience some home issues, so we help get their furnace fixed, their air conditioner fixed. They come to me with the issues, and I find vendors that are willing to support our cause and take care of it at a greatly reduced rate, and then we help with the bill that way. So that's what I mean by we come alongside and help in practical ways as needs arise.
Who started the program?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I founded it in January of 2013. And I'm often asked, are there other groups like this, or are we a chapter of a national organization? The question is no, we are our own entity. And the other answer is there are pockets of support groups like this across the nation, but they are usually Gold Star moms, Gold Star dads, Gold Star siblings, Gold Star wives. Our business model is the whole family hurts. Where do grandma and grandpa and cousins and aunts and uncles and every family member, where do they go? So we bring them all in. Everyone is welcome. And it's just proven to be very very successful in that way. We have annual events. We have a Christmas potluck every year. The Children of the Fallen get gifts there, but really before everybody leaves, everybody gets, I find, a present to give to everybody. We have potluck because we want them to be engaged. Bring your best dish, bring a crowd, family style. And then we provide the meat. I'll have a chocolate fountain, and we have a guest speaker. We have an annual commemoration. That is our biggest event of the year. The first year we had the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs director. He was our speaker. Last year we had someone that was in the movie American Sniper. Wow. If you saw the movie, in the very beginning they're throwing darts into a bare back. We had bare back guy. That was Kevin Lace. And that went over very well. This year we had somebody equally important, but it wasn't as well known. There's an HBO film. It's an award-winning film starring Kevin Bacon. It's called Taking Chance. Most people think it's Taking Chances. It's not. It's Taking Chance. HBO film. And it's the true story of a dignified transfer of Lance Corporal Chance Phelps. And it shows the process in just a beautiful way. It's not only an inspiring movie, it's very educational as to how we handle our fallen. They go to Dover, Delaware, and the body is prepared there. Then there's an escort assigned. There's protocol. It's very reverent. It's very solemn. It's very, very sweet. So anyway, Kevin Bacon portrayed Lieutenant Colonel Mike Strobel. He was the actual escort. He wrote the after-action report. A screenplay was developed from that, and that's who we had, Mike Strobel. He came to speak. And so it's just been very meaningful to us. So anyway, we have Color Guard, Pledge of Allegiance, Anthem. That's where we award our scholarships and our grants to organizations. Then there's our speaker. But after that, we have what's called the Yellow Rose Ceremony. All the gold stars and survivors line up. There's appropriate music, background music played, and our special speaker hands them a yellow rose. And they lay it at the base of whatever service flag their loved one died in. That's the height of the commemoration. After that, it's immediately followed by a brunch. This year, for the first time, we had a grief seminar. We offered 2 tracks. And then that night, there was a celebration, because the whole day is kind of heavy. You got the commemoration, you got the grief seminar. This year, we showed the movie Taking Chance. We rented a theater at Landmark and showed the movie Taking Chance with the lead role present. And then that night, so we had a celebration of life. We had karaoke, we had a country western themed dinner. People were encouraged to wear their cowboy hats, their cowboy boots, and it was a smaller group, but it was more intimate, and everybody got to visit with the speaker. It was really nice. We're going to do that again next year.
That sounds amazing. And we have Veterans Day coming up.
Yes.
So there's parades, there's all kinds of stuff that people can do. How can we give back? How can we support more?
Well, our organization represents fallen veterans, and that's a smaller niche, and frankly, I think it's kind of overlooked a lot. So the biggest way people can help is to donate money. We can donate online or get more information how to mail a check at our website, which is our name.org, americasgoldstarfamilies.org. I do have handpicked volunteers that support at the potluck, at the commemoration, just doing a variety of tasks. I think that's the best way to help right now. Memorial Day, that's actually, about our fallen.
Okay.
But that's a much more difficult day for our family members. I have some that won't leave the house. Most of them are going to go to their respective cemeteries, which can be Camp Butler in Springfield. It can be local. They have their own things. So we just kind of respect, what everybody wants to do that day.
I used to work for a burial vault company, and in a small town up in northern Illinois, when a veteran when a veteran passed, they brought out every veteran in the county. It seemed like came and attended that funeral, and they did 21 gun salute, and they did taps with. It was just amazing that everybody volunteered and gathered together at that point. It had to be awesome for the families too. But volunteerism, what needs do you specifically have as far as volunteering, and is there ways that people can help?
Well, besides the donation thing, like this past year we had our inaugural 5K, 5K run for fallen heroes. Next year, that was very successful, all things considered. I'm not a racer. I do good to walk, but so that was, they had some challenges because I wasn't familiar. Racing is a distinct culture. Wow. But it was very educational, and I appreciated the experience. So anyway, we're going to have it again next year, and I need volunteers to help for that. I'll always need sponsorships. And the reason we ask for sponsorships and raise money is because our families have already paid the ultimate sacrifice. We will not charge them a penny ever for anything. So that's where the money goes to. The commemoration and the brunch, the roses, our 990s are posted on our webpage, homepage. So there's hands-on volunteer. There's sponsorships from corporations and donors, and then there's just anybody who wants to donate money.
So with all these cards that you guys are doing now these days, who's helping you with that? I mean, how many cards are you even up to already?
We're just under 175. And at Christmas time, right now, the birthday cards are just, you do the month of October. Christmas is coming. We're going to have to do them all at one time. And I do it. Okay. I do everything. We have, like I said, no paid staff, including myself. And it is a full-time job. People don't realize. But I break it down. My responsibilities are fourfold. I do all admin, event planning, fundraising, and cultivate member relationships. Sure. We have a website. We have a Facebook page or a public, and I run those. There's just something to do. We also have we have our own way of remembering. Families of the Fallen have but one request: never forget. And so it's important that we remember the day we call it Heavenly Birthday and Angelversary, on the date they went home. And it just means a lot to them, especially as time goes on, because people do forget. It's just human nature. I also wanted to mention that our organization represents all conflicts. And at our past commemoration, we had a 93-year-old Gold Star wife. She lost her husband in World War II right before she gave birth to their second child. Eventually, she remarried and had more children. Then that husband died. But for her to talk to other young mothers, young wives who have lost theirs, there's tremendous healing and power in them connecting with someone else who has lived a lifetime past where they are at right now. So that's the goal, that we just be a conduit to bring together these people who have suffered similar circumstance. So because no one understands like someone else who has gone through it. The worst thing you can say to someone is, I understand what you're going through. If you haven't, never say that. I know people mean well, but it's almost an insult. And so, but we bring them together, and that's how we bring honor, hope, and healing. That the families would just achieve some level of healing.
How do you hear about the families?
That's a really good question. There's a network that's already out there. They know one another, and oftentimes I have been told, hey, you need to contact this one. You need to contact that one. So I do that. But when there is a local fallen soldier, like we are experiencing right now, somehow I make contact with the family. I will meet with them, tell them, this is how we are here for you in the days ahead. Everybody is on their own unique grief journey. Some are not ready for a long time. I had somebody recently reach out to me and say, okay, it's been 5 years. I'm ready to get involved now. And there's others that come alongside that be part of the process right away. And then there's everything in between. And there's some I never hear from. So we just respect where everybody's at. We're here to help whoever wants and needs to be helped.
So is there a place on your website where people can let you know about families?
Yeah, there's a contact us tab, and those emails come directly to me. And yeah.
That's awesome. So where's your favorite place you've sang at?
Well, that would have to be Wrigley Field.
Okay.
I've sang the anthem for the Cubs the past 14 years. I did not this year, and every year, every January, I have to send in my demo because that's just what the process is. This year, I didn't make it. They had a change of staff who didn't know me, wasn't familiar with me, and I heard that because they're doing really well, they're going with the more well-known. But I'll submit again in January. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's the highlight of my career. But I love singing for our military events too.
That's awesome. You do a beautiful job at it.
Well, thank you.
So if somebody wants you to come sing at an event, how do they get a hold of you?
Go to the website. There's my phone number.
Everything's
There's
through
my
the website. That's awesome. I really appreciate everything that you've done because, you never know what your passion is. And like you said, God gives us our abilities and we have to use them. That's our responsibility. And I love that. And I commend you for all of your hard work and, that giving mentality. It feels good.
Well, thank you. We have represented families representing World War, as far back as World War II, Vietnam. In fact, we have representatives from every conflict except Korea war right now. So it's not a post 9/11 thing. That's my point. I want everybody to know.
Sure.
I had a gentleman call me one day on the phone who I had never met. Is this the Gold Star Families? Yes. And I could tell he was an older gentleman. And he said, when are your support group meetings? I said, well, we don't really have that. We provide grief counseling for members. We pay for that. But did you lose a son? And he said, no. I was 6 months old when my dad was killed in Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
And I said, well, I got to ask you, how can we help you? He was in his 70s. Excuse me. And he said, just this, and this was like in the fall. He said, just this past Father's Day, I was sitting in church, heard our pastor preach Father's Day sermon, and it dawned on me, very soon, for the first time ever, I will have a conversation with my dad. And he broke down and he started sobbing. So it hit him almost 75 years later.
Wow.
And he's been plugged into our group ever since. So you just never know,
Wow.
I know.
That's an amazing story.
It's a beautiful story.
I find it amazing the people that see a need and go for it. And I think that's exactly what you did. And what really inspired you? I mean, what really required you to get involved?
Well, when my sons were in war, it was on the news all the time. And I lived in constant fear of a knock on the door. And at the time, we lived on a cul-de-sac, and I would see lights at night and just start screaming because nobody came down to our cul-de-sac, unless you lived there. We didn't have much traffic. My husband would say, it's okay, it's okay. And I've heard other family stories about their knock on the door and how it's changed them forever and how they laugh, but their laugh isn't the same. And I just can't imagine. What that pain would be. And many of their sons were the same age as my sons. It just, in fact, for a couple of years, I tried to get somebody else to do this. I kept saying, there's nothing here. You need to do that. You need to do that. You're more powerful. You have more money. You're more well-known than me. And nobody ever did it. And finally, I was kind of a little upset. And I thought, well, darn it, I'll do it myself. Hey, there's a concept. That's probably what I was supposed to do. So just a compassion for somebody who's lost somebody in war, knowing it could have been me. It's in the numbers to have two over there at the same time. In the movie Taking Chance, they show a brother escorting his deceased brother home. And that part gets me every time to think. And people say, well, I thought they didn't do that. I thought they didn't let two sons, serve at the same time since Saving Private Ryan. The rule is they can't serve in the same unit or platoon. Well, platoon is 40, so you can easily be over there. What a mother can do is, if she loses one son, they can put in a request that the other one come home. But anyway, life is short. You just never know, and these young men, my sons have given me beautiful grandchildren since that time. Some of these parents will never hold their sons' grandchildren as a result. And that's just so sad. But it's so admirable, the call of a warrior's heart. What makes a young man and a young woman sign up to possibly lose their life for a stranger's freedom? This isn't just for their family, it's for all of us. And that is so admirable. And these families deserve everything we give them and more.
So that makes me want to make sure that I stand when the flag goes by, cover my hand over my heart. I think of going to parades where everybody would stand up, everybody would take off their hat, everybody would cross, put their hand over their heart. And I think that patriotism's kind of gone a little bit from America, and I miss that a little bit.
Well, it's important that all of us who share a deep sense of patriotism teach others, teach our children, nieces, nephews, teach the younger ones. I have zero tolerance for people who kneel during our national anthem. It is a privilege to sing our national anthem. That's one of the hardest songs to sing. If you've been gifted by God to be able to sing it, the last thing you need to do is just respect it. And I don't care who disagrees with me about that. Their point, supposedly, is to bring attention to a matter, but I don't see that as resolving anything. If you want to have a conversation, have a conversation. There are more effective ways to accomplish. That is not accomplishing anything.
You've done some pretty great things, and I know you're not looking for a pat on the back, but thanks for all that you do. It's amazing.
Well, I have a great team. I have a wonderful board of directors. In fact, that's worth mentioning, our governance. We have a board of directors, but we are overseen by a Gold Star Advisory Council to ensure that we're always meeting their needs. And once in a while, they'll come back and say, no, that's not a great idea, because they know what solves it, what helps them more than we do. And so while I do a lot of this stuff alone all day, every day, I've got a great team backing me, and I really appreciate my board.
That's awesome. So people can go to the americasgoldstarfamilies.org to volunteer or donate or learn more or get assistance if they need.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
We're here with Patti Smith of American Gold Star Families In the Neighborhood on PeoriaLife.com. Thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome.